Hi Gemini, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is June 2nd, 2020. This is a general love reading for the sign of Gemini for this upcoming week in June. Because it's general, it can pertain to anything, relationships, situations, or circumstances surrounding your home, family, social circle. Basically, if you can think of it, Gemini, it might apply. Be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards. You may feel like I'm reading for you. You could potentially feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. As always, take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't, and hopefully by the end you feel like you have something that was worthwhile and that will help you and benefit you in some way. As that is my intention. Okay, Gemini, I am just giving that brief introduction, but if you're brand new to my channel or you're relatively unfamiliar with it, first of all, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching my videos. And there is more specific information in the description box below if you want to have a look there. Returning viewers, thank you for coming back. Okay, Gemini, so we're going to get started. See what's going on with you guys. I have to say the readings have been very interesting this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. It's afternoon now. You're my last one for the day, so we'll see what we've got for Gemini. I think the last couple of readings for Gemini have been pretty challenging readings if I'm remembering correctly. So let's see if we've got some positive news for Gemini. One more shuffle. Here we go. Okay, we're going to start off with the 8 of Pentacles paired with the 10 of Cups. Okay, maybe, right? That looks positive. I always like when the 10 of Cups comes out. In that first set of cards, 8 of Swords in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. The Sun. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Swords, and then the 2 of Pentacles. So there's kind of a mixed bag right now. I'm not really sure which direction this will go. It feels like it could be positive. It feels like this could be related to a work situation, a job. Something of that nature. The King of Wands is out here. I do feel like this is probably your energy, Gemini. The Kings have been coming out like crazy too. So I want to remind you, if you're a female viewer, first of all, you can embody masculine energy. It's just the meaning of the card. It's not the gender. So be mindful about that. But you could also potentially be someone else who shows up in this reading, or an external party that is receiving this reading because it's affecting you in some way, shape, or form, even though it might be directly associated with somebody else, an external energy. So the King of Wands in reverse could be somebody who is in a position of power, or he's in a position of power, but he's misusing his power, or he feels powerless, or he's given up his ability to make decisions. He could be being controlled by others, or this could be somebody who's dealing with anger issues. There's lots of meanings to this card, but what I'm getting from this, and because it's paired with the 8 of Swords in reverse, this could be that you're being released from kind of feeling control, or feeling like you don't have any power, or feeling like you don't have the ability to make decisions. Maybe you're finally kind of getting released from that. Maybe there was a period of time when you were dealing with having to abide by others' wishes, or that kind of thing. Again, related possibly to a work situation with the 8 of Pentacles coming out here. It feels like at this point in time, there's finally some steady movement forward. It might be slow going at first. You might be just kind of, getting going after feeling like you weren't making any progress, but there is some slow, steady movement forward, some progress being made. But I think that you're still maybe stressed out about possibly the outcome or where you're headed or what these decisions that you're making are going to lead to. There's maybe this level of uncertainty, not feeling super confident about the decisions you're making at this point in time. You could be making decisions not just for yourself, but for others. With the Ten of Cups coming out here, that your intention is to move in the right direction that will be satisfactory for all involved. Not just a decision for yourself or something that would be selfish for you and you alone, but for everybody. Excuse me. I think with once you get things going again, or if they already are, it feels like they already are, as you continue to move forward or as you continue to make progress, things are going to become more and more clear for you. You'll gain more and more insight, more and more understanding of what will transpire from the decisions you're making, or what direction you're moving in. Let's get some more cards out here for you, Gemini. We have the Eight of Swords again in reverse. And then we have Temperance in reverse. The Hermit in reverse. Six of Wands. Two of Wands in reverse. The Fool in reverse. Five of Pentacles, clarifying this Nine of Swords. And then the Five of Swords. So to me, it feels like you're making a decision where you're going to be left with all or nothing. That's what I get the feeling, is that this really... I feel like you've made a decision, and I feel like that it's going to not just affect you, but affect others, or benefit you and benefit others, I should say, because I feel like this is actually positive. It's feeling like you're uncertain about it, but it feels positive to me. So you may be uncertain that you're making the right decisions for yourself and for this group of people, but people around you are recognizing that you're making this effort, maybe feeling pretty good about it, that you finally come to a decision or conclusion, because I feel like maybe you've been working on this for a while and you finally kind of come to terms or seen what you need to see, or gather whatever knowledge or information you needed in order to make a move or make a decision. And again, it does feel like it's related to a work situation, maybe a financial or creative endeavor, business, something like that. But to me, this indicates it's potentially the thing that's on your mind more than anything else is, and the conflict you're feeling is that, is this decision going to leave me with nothing? Because I feel like it's an all or nothing type situation, and you might be thinking, oh, I'm headed in the direction of just totally bombing. I'm going to be left with nothing. Because I think there's a certain level of insecurity associated with whatever decision you've made, Gemini. You're feeling very insecure or cautious. Maybe not certain if you should be moving in this direction or not. But I think that the decision's been made. And it might be, too, one of those things where once you've made the decision, you can't go back. So you were really careful about coming to terms with what you thought was right. Again, not just for you, but for others. This could be a situation where you're trying to fix something or improve a situation for people or for yourself or everybody involved. With Temperance in reverse coming up, could indicate imbalance or some kind of conflict or something that needed attention because it was causing issues or causing pain or causing people to be unhappy, something like that. Let's get some more cards out here for you, Gemini, and see what else we get. Page of Cups in reverse. And then the Nine of Cups in reverse. It's almost like you want something, but you really don't. It's like you've been trying to manifest. Maybe you've been working on gaining the ability to make some kind of decision or make some kind of move. So you've been really wanting to finally come to terms with what it is that you want to do. But at the same time, you've been reluctant to move forward because maybe it's been hard for you to accept this level of responsibility, possibly. So you want it, but you don't at the same time. You want this level of responsibility, but at the same time you don't. Because if it fails, it falls on your shoulders, right? If it's success, great. Everybody recognizes that you're the one who made the decision, and you're receiving accolades, and everybody's appreciating you and honoring you. But at the same time, then if it fails, then it also falls on your shoulders, and you have to take responsibility. That's what I've got from those two cards. Devil, the Star in reverse, Five of Wands in reverse, Eight of Wands, Three of Cups, and then the King of Pentacles in reverse. So your energy, this is definitely you too, this King of Pentacles. Your energy is the only energy on the table. I do feel like you're plagued almost by this sense of it's not going to work out. Like you're just very resistant to accepting that you might actually have success with whatever this is for you, Gemini. It's kind of holding you back a little bit, and I think part of it has to do with the fact that you're responsible for other people's happiness, and so you're afraid that this wrong decision is going to leave not just you but everybody with nothing. It's going to result in a failure rather than a success, and it won't just affect you, it's going to affect other people. And so that's really what has you probably more troubled than anything else, is that you'll be seen as being irresponsible or lacking loyalty or not caring or taking advantage of others. It's very, it feels like you're on this tightrope, and, depending on whether you're able to get to the other side or you end up falling down, it's an either or situation for Gemini. I really feel like it's challenging for you because it feels like it's two extremes. On the one extreme, it's going to be really positive, very good, and in the other extreme, it's going to be devastating. And so there's a lot of possibly internal conflict, worry, anxiety. Maybe you're not able to sleep at night. There's a lot of concern over the outcome. I don't yet necessarily have anything that indicates what this is for you, except the Eight of Pentacles indicating that it could be a job situation or something related to finances. Maybe you're working on something that will I feel like you've put a lot of time into it. I feel like you've put a lot of energy into this. And it's gotten to the point where maybe you've built it up so much that the expectations now are very high, because it's taken you a certain level of time to achieve a certain level of progress. And so there's this feeling that the expectations that others have regarding the situation where you're making some decisions here are very high. And so feeling like you might disappoint others or fail other people is weighing extremely heavy on your mind. Let's get this next set out, see what else we get for Gemini. Two of Cups in reverse. And then we have Justice in reverse. Or, sorry, the Emperor. The Emperor in this deck looks like Justice a little bit. So if I don't look at the picture closely, I sometimes think it's Justice, but it's the Emperor. You may, again, I get the feeling like on the one hand you want to be able to finally make a move and make a decision, but you really don't want this level of power. You would rather leave it to somebody else because it's very uncomfortable for you, I think. This could have to do with breaking off some relationships that were not very positive for you or positive for this endeavor or this project or this work-related decision that you're making. Maybe you had to separate yourselves, sever some connections. If you're a boss, maybe you had to fire or lay off some people that were not, were keeping you from making progress, that kind of thing. And maybe that's part of the reason why this is an uncomfortable decision for you. We have the Four of Pentacles. You're hanging on to this devil energy, Gemini, and that's really what has you stressing out because you won't let this go. You're being negatively influenced by whatever negative thoughts are going through your head because you're doubting yourself. Six of Pentacles in reverse, but other people are not. Other people have faith in you. You don't have faith in yourself, but other people have faith in you. This is clarifying the King of Wands in reverse. People that surround you, Gemini, trust you. You're the one who doesn't trust yourself. That's what I have from that set of cards. Nine of Pentacles. Two of Wands again in reverse. Knight of Pentacles in reverse again, but this time in reverse, not upright. And then there's Justice. See what I mean about these cards? It's interesting they both came up. And then they're also both in reverse. And then you get to see the comparison between the two and why I mix them up. I mean, it's interesting because most of these cards are confirming what I've seen from the start. And there's not a lot of new information, except that you're dwelling in this anxiety and lack of hope that you're going to be able to take control of the situation, make the right decisions for others. But again, these feelings, the thoughts that are going through your head are totally opposite of what's going on with regard to the people that surround you and the people who will be affected by the decisions you're making. They have faith in you. You don't have faith in yourself, but they absolutely have faith in you. And maybe that's also partly what's so difficult is, again, they have this level of faith and confidence in you that you're going to be making the right decision. And so if it doesn't go your way or if the outcome is not positive, you're going to feel that effect more significantly because you were ultimately the one that made the decision. And so, you're stuck with, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be looked at like a King of Pentacles. I lack the loyalty, I lack the compassion, I lack the care for others, I'm taking advantage of others, I'm making wrong decisions, selfish decisions. Acting like an opportunist, making decisions for myself instead of others, for the benefit of myself instead of others. And so, again, it's the perception of others and then the perception of others after the outcome is realized that has you feeling significant amount of self-doubt. I'm going to just throw in a little piece of advice, just a little. I try to avoid advice because, I'm just reading the cards. I'm not here to counsel you or anything of that nature. But I don't think there's anything wrong even with a fearless leader. In fact, I think it makes them, a leader is more authentic, more believable, more trustworthy, and more likable, and more approachable and relatable if you take off the masks and just be blunt and forthright with your insecurities. I don't think there's anything wrong with a fearless leader saying, look, I'm not sure I'm making the right decisions. I hope that I am. My intentions are positive. But if this doesn't work out, know that I did not do this with ill intentions for the people that are surround me. I'm doing this for your good, and I'm hoping this decision is the right decision. But if it doesn't go right, know ahead of time that I have positive intentions. So maybe even communicating that to the people that surround you. You know, you don't. Yeah, you want to act with confidence. Of course you do. That's part of what makes a good leader. But there's also nothing wrong with admitting that you're human. You know, you can have insecurities just like everybody else. That's my little tidbit of advice, Gemini. So let's get this last round out, see what else we get. This reading is so, it's very clear and kind of simple. It's a simple reading. The message is pretty simple. There's not a lot going on here. And so it's very clear for me and very obvious what's going on. This might end up being kind of a short reading because of that. So there's Temperance again, but this time in the upright position. And then we have the Nine of Swords again, but this time in the reverse position, excuse me. So what I'm getting from this too, well, let me get the rest of these cards out. Five of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, for the second time. Seven of Cups. Ace of Cups in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Judgment in reverse. And the Five of Swords in reverse again, clarifying the Five of Swords. Okay, so I can kind of see what's going on here. I think what happened is you had to make some choices regarding connections or relationships that are associated with this decision or the situation that you're finding yourself in, Gemini. And in order to create a situation where you were able to make some decisions regarding the situation, I think you had to sever some ties, disconnect with some relationships that were not fostering this positive decision that you were making for a group of people. So there were certainly people, or there are going to be, if you haven't made these decisions yet, there's going to be some people who are left out, cut out, released from this opportunity or this decision. There's somebody is going to miss out. It's not a all or nothing situation. It's a some people are going to benefit, some are not. And that's probably part of the reason why you're struggling with this. there's still a significant level of uncertainty and internal conflict. Maybe trying to still figure out what your options are, what your next move is going to be, and then confusion surrounding the ultimate decision, because I feel like it almost feels like you think there's no way to make the right choice here. There's no way to make the right choice, and so how can you have a positive outcome if your decision doesn't benefit all? There's some kind of conflict here, some kind of conflict or issue that you might have to leave behind, maybe unresolved. There might be a decision where you just have to say, you know what, I've got to leave something behind. This isn't working out. It's not benefiting the group. It's not benefiting my business. It's not benefiting my family. I've got to leave this behind, unresolved. And maybe you had at one point in time resolved to only make this decision until everything was in order, all your ducks were in a row, all your I's were dotted and all your T's were crossed, and then we can move forward. But I think what you're finding is there's something that's going to be left unresolved, but you still need to move forward. And it could be that there's just some people, for example, or some connections that are holding you back, and it could be because it could be issues that you don't have any control over, because they're issues that the people that are dealing with them have control over. They're the ones that need to make decisions for their own lives. So, for example, let's say you're making a decision to relocate your company. I'm just throwing these out as examples. I'm not saying that this is the situation, but again, it does feel like a workplace situation. So let's say you're making a decision to relocate your company, and some people just can't move right now. And your intention was to wait until everybody could, and then you would make the decision to relocate. Well, as it turns out, you're in this stagnant, stuck energy, and you can't move forward until you make some decisions, and those decisions might end up being you've got to leave some people behind. Because in order to make progress, in order to move forward, in order to do what's right for the whole, you may have to leave some people behind. That kind of thing. That's just kind of a basic hypothetical situation. It could be anything. So I do feel for you, Gemini. I think that this is challenging, but I think your intentions are definitely positive, and I think that more than anything else, that your level of insecurity that might be getting in your way. Again, you're dealing with this like, oh, no matter what decision I make, it's going to be the wrong decision, and you've got to get out of this mindset. This is not the right place to be if you are making these kind of decisions. And don't, I'm not saying that you need to pretend to be confident and have, all the answers. I'm not saying you need to pretend to have this, but you do need to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and allow people to see, you're a human being, and yeah, you might make a mistake, but your intentions are positive, and that's what counts. If your intentions are forthright and you mean well, then you can't be blamed for things that go wrong because you didn't intend for that to happen. Sometimes maybe the timing's wrong, or there's somebody else that's influencing the situation, or there's some external circumstances that are getting in your way. It's not all about your decision, right, Gemini? So if you can manage to get yourself out of this devil energy, it's hopeless type of mental anxiety, then I think that you can probably not only make a decision, but feel good about it, which is important. You need to feel good about your decisions. I'm going to take this card, and we have the Four of Fire. I love this card, and I think it's going to apply. I think you'll resonate with it. It came out in the upright position, and I think it's perfect for this reading. I'm going to read it and wrap it up. Look at me, I'm at 29 minutes. This is the shortest reading I've done, and I don't mean to cut you guys short, but the reading was very clear cut. There was no fuzzy areas for me. I love when that happens, when I don't have any doubts about what I'm seeing in the cards. So this is just about 3/4 of a page, Gemini, and here we go. The Four of Fire is symbolic of focused mind, emotion, and deliberate action that once applied lend impetus and momentum. It means acting with both skill and accuracy and establishing a work ethic or creative process that is reflective of both. It is about focusing on the task at hand, making it the center of our attention, and not allowing distractions to cause us to lose sight of our target or objectives. The Four of Fire represents showing discipline by devoting regular time and energy to repeated practice and application, which in turn increases skill and ability, and in doing so make one's actions more confident and therefore faster. Goals manifest faster and outcomes are achieved with less energy wasted. With time and practice, a process can become as natural as breathing, and mistakes become fewer. Unlike other animals, humans are not born with the innate knowledge required to survive. To survive, we must be both willing and prepared to learn. A baby first crawls, then walks, and then learns to run. That same baby cannot run before it has first learned to crawl and walk. We learn well, I disagree with that because my daughter used to drag herself across the floor. She never did crawl. And she can run now. She's 22. We learn primarily through a process of repetition and practice. Without repetition and practice, we may be able to learn the rudiments of a new skill, but we cannot become brilliant or accomplished at it, even if we were naturally gifted. If the Four of Fire appears in a reading, it signifies the importance of focus, dedication, discipline, and practice on a physical level. It suggests that we concentrate now and do what needs to be done. The way we improve and achieve things faster is by devoting our attention and focus to practice. There is no such thing as an overnight success. You must first pay your dues. To be the best takes time. How perfect is that, Gemini? I love these cards. I just can't get enough of them. I mean, they come out and it's just like perfect ending to the reading. It just makes total sense. You know, you're dwelling in this devil energy right now, thinking that you're lacking the skill, the knowledge, the know-how, the ability to make a decisive, focused decision that you can feel confident about, but you're moving in this direction. And you know what? You have to accept the pitfalls. You have to accept that sometimes you're going to be unsure and mistakes happen. And then when you're able to make mistakes, but then correct the mistakes, then you improve. I mean, that's what life is all about, right? I mean, you can't expect to just skate through life without any pitfalls or any problems or obstacles or people getting in your way. It's going to happen. That's what life is all about. But you take on those challenges, work through them the best you can, use the skills you have and what you've acquired throughout your time and your experience. Use your wisdom to push yourself through and make a decision that you're confident about. And then, you know, if things don't go your way, don't be so hard on yourself. Accept that, okay, I made a mistake this time. I'm going to pick my ass up. I'm going to fix what I broke before, and I'm going to keep moving forward and eventually get the job done. That's what good leaders do. So you got to turn your ass this way, Gemini. You need to turn your ass around and gain some confidence. You're going to get there. The cards are actually very promising. You are going to get there, and I do feel like you're headed in the right direction. So just kick this energy out the door. This is not serving you at all. And you'll get there, I promise. And I don't make promises very easily because, you know, if you promise, then you got to come through with it. I promise that if you can get this energy out of your head, you will make progress and you will have success. So I'm going to leave that here, Gemini. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope that you gained some insight, maybe gain some confidence. I wish all the best for you. I would love it if you'd leave some comments. If you feel like it, if this reading resonated for you, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, Gemini, for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.